So we keep talking about all the J-boats here and all the one design racing here at the Chicago Mackinac race. I figure we go straight to the horse's mouth and go one of the J guys himself, Stu Johnstone, marketing maven over at J-boats. How are you, man?
I'm doing all right. Thank you.
Look, it's great to see you again, and we kind of go back a little ways, but we keep crossing paths, and we never get to put you on camera. So finally, I grabbed you.
Well, thank you so much. We missed each other in Charleston, but look forward to having a fun time here in the Chicago Mac race.
Yeah, man, and I know you guys are pretty proud of the fact you got 6, I think, J111s on the line, which is obviously your newest J-boat, right?
Yeah, we do. We're very excited about that. The 6 owners have been having a wonderful time getting themselves warmed up for this regatta. They sailed 3 one design events already. They did the Colors Regatta, the Sailing World Nude Regatta, and then had a couple of events last week. So they're very, very well prepared, all 6 boats.
How has the racing been? Is there someone clearly rose to the top? And are these, I mean, these guys are most of them are longtime J-boat owners, right?
Yeah, every single one of them have come here with very, very good crews. There have been former J105 Great Lakes champions here. Between obviously Richie and his dad Dick, they've sailed about collectively 90 max, I think. I've only sailed 21. And but the other teams also have some very, very good people on board. And collectively between them, I think we counted something like 25 or 30 division wins in the MAC alone.
And that's leaving out, you know, the Starboat World Championships and the America's Cup stuff and all this other stuff that these guys have under their belts, right?
Exactly.
And the J24 stuff.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. It's a very, very talented group.
So
And,
did you guys target Chicago a little bit because of all the J105s and all this sort of, you have a great clientele here, but did you target them and said, let's push the 111s here, or does it just naturally work out that way with all the orders you got?
It was really actually quite interesting. It naturally worked out for us because of the fact that there was such a strong owner base here between the 105s, the 24s, the 109s, and bigger boats. And so there's been a real strong tradition of J sailors here locally. And what really surprised us was the fact that when the first orders came through, Richie and the people here locally were very, very enthusiastic about it because they wanted a boat that basically was a turbocharged 105 or 109, stand-up headroom, really easy to sail by 2 or 3 people. And when the orders all came through, these guys all got together, all 6 owners that are here now, and there's probably a dozen other people who are sitting on the fence who are looking to jump in next year.
Wow, wow. Well, I mean, it's a great success story with the economy the way it is for you guys to be selling such a nice boat that is not, you know, it isn't cheap certainly, but I think it really fits a purpose. It as Richie said to us, you know, this is a boat for the family, but you know, compared to a boat that was meant for the family 10 years ago, you know, the world has moved on, and it's a fast boat, right?
Well, what people are finding out is that they're having really a lot of fun sailing the boat. I mean, there's not many boats that you can buy, go sail with your family and your kids, sail it in control, and still be planning at 13, 14, 15, sometimes 18 knots downwind, and actually feel comfortable doing it. Guys who've been sailing offshore in the boats out in the West Coast, doing the Cabo race and the Ensenada race. Guys over in England, J111 just won the Round Island race in England, which is
like 1,000 boats or something like that, right?
Exactly. There was, I think it was 1,800 boats and something like 15,000 sailors, and they launched that 111 less than 24 hours before the start of that race.
Wow.
And they went around. They won IRC Class 1, and they missed winning overall IRC by something like 6 minutes.
Oh my God!
And they said we left 6 minutes lying all over the race course. They said one of the things we ended up doing was a trimaran had pitch poled, and on the backside.
So they stood by and helped out the trimaran.
Yeah, just past St. Cat's, and they stood by and took care of them and so forth. And they figured they lost probably at least 10 or 12 minutes right there alone.
Well, obviously it bodes well for the IRC performance of the boat, and I know you guys have, I'm sure, focused on that a little bit. But at the same time, so much of racing in the States between the Bermuda and the Transpac and this race is ORR. How do you think the ratings line up ORR?
It's interesting. We've the ORR is a derivative of the old IMS rule,
right,
and a derivative of a precursor to that. And Stan Honey and Jim Teeters and all these guys at U.S. Sailing are certainly involved in the ORR, ORC rule development. It's another black box rule.
Right.
They won't divulge what it is and how it works. So at the end of the day, they're always asking questions. I've talked to Stan a lot about it, and I've talked to Jim Teeters, how the 111 compares to our own existing boats versus competitive boats. And I think it does as good a job as any factoring in performance. It still has its weaknesses. and the 111 shows those weaknesses.
Right.
But we'll see. We know it's in constant refinement. It's certainly competitive under it because our friends on Invisible Hand, those crazy guys out in San Francisco, had a hell of a time.
Is that the first one to hit the States? Isn't that right?
Yeah, well, it was one of them.
Yeah.
The guys out west. He's a good essay contributor all the time, and they've done a fantastic job. And they sailed ORR in the Cabo race, and in that Cabo race, as he said at the end, he said, "My God," he said, "if we only had an hour more of sailing, that would have won that race overall."
Wow.
And that was an 850-mile race.
Yeah, 862, I think.
Yeah, just phenomenal.
And a tough race too.
Very tough race.
Yeah.
Yeah, upwind for 3 days. You know, really light air stuff, and then the breeze finally kicked in, came around as it should, and normally, at least in that race, in the normal circumstances. And in the last, I think it was 24 to 36 hours, they put probably 80 to 100 miles on several of their class competitors.
Downwind flying.
Yeah.
That's it, the J111. Well, make sure you check them out at jboats.com. Make sure you check out this broadcast tomorrow for the start. We'll see them all lined up pretty. And check them out on CYC Race to Mackinac.com to track them. Thanks, folks.